Good morning. I did the reading and draw today at 7 a.m., which is going to give us a 7. And today is March 3rd, 2025, which is going to be a 339 energy or a 1-5 equal to a 6. Today is Monday and Moon Day. And the deck I am using is the Cosmic Tarot. The beads I recommend today are aquamarine for calming, and aquamarine is also the official stone of the month of March. So it adds a little extra amplification to it. Carnelian for confidence and stability. Moonstone for the moon cycles. Pearl for our innocence and maintaining our sense of all things. Amethyst for our spiritual protection. And something black for protection as well. What cards do we get today? Well, we have the 10 of Pentacles, Earth, and the 8 of Wands, Fire. So we have a little bit of an elemental square, if you will. The 10 of Pentacles, Earth, is going to relate to the Magician and the Hermit card. And this is related to Mercury, the third decan of Virgo, our 6th house. Our second card being the 8 of Wands. The element is fire. It is going to relate to the first decan of Sagittarius. And again, Mercury. The two major arcanas are going to be the Magician and Temperance. And both of these are mutable. So things occurring to us that maybe we didn't think of previously, one in a feminine house and one in a masculine house, suggesting that it will be equally across the board how we receive information that is ready for us. What two cards do we get today? Well, I just want to say before I go there that this is a decan walk, 36 faces. It is taught by, I believe, Austin Kopak. And it is, if you read the book, the book is something I can't even afford to get. But anyway, he teaches a course on it. And I am getting ready with my business partner to offer a course on it. Okay, so the 10 of Pentacles, what is that telling us? Well, it's the return on enfleshment, a very interesting term, and the Lord of Wealth. Now, I use some of the older terms when I use the tarot cards because it does kind of point to what's really happening. And I, as an astrologer and a numerologist, just find that I can help bring out a more solid reading by just having a few extra tools. And at this time, what are we doing? Well, we have shared visions, many of us. And we also have shared responsibilities and a need to be of service. There's a need to balance our perspectives for our personal well-being at this time. We are finding creative ways to communicate our messages. We are seizing opportunities, and we are acting swiftly. Our shared vision with our shared action suggests we are learning how to use our collective power. Mercury in Aries in the first house, where we are gaining layers of communication and proper self-expression. It is coming with something that I want to mention that is rather painful. And it is the introspection and the pain of the many who have been marginalized. People now expressing in ways that's difficult to absorb. Yet we must absorb this information because collectively we created this pain. We all feel, and how we see each other now, Venus retrograde in the first house, will be about reevaluation and reconnection. We must pause and assess our motivations and actions. And if they align with proper moral values, then our next step is to not behave impulsively, but to behave in a balanced, grounded way with planning. And today's card suggests we are finding our equilibrium amidst rapid change. Our marginalized communities organizing, boycotts, and activism, spreading awareness through their collective actions. As these businesses at the top attempted to abandon their DEI initiatives, we are witnessing a collective movement to shut this down. And this is a massive opportunity for spiritual growth. The words being expressed by the marginalized at this time, not personal, but rather a need to address longstanding inequities as we witness a reclaiming of power, addressing systemic injustices that we've all had a collective responsibility to. Furthermore, we have the Eight of Wands related to fire, Sagittarius, first decan Mercury, which is going to be our express delivery and Lord of swiftness, meaning that what is coming swiftly. Those who abandoned moral principles, many merchants, now finding out about our collective disapproval. Sagittarius is all about the ethics. Says those who play around find out the immediate repercussions. And if you are morally aligned, this is a catalyst for swift change, as the reactions from the other side will be obvious. Venus is retrograde. And here we are today on Moon Day. This is to give us the courage to act on our own behalf. The system wants us to accept enslavement. And those who do so will suffer their own downfall. In other words, if you're wishing to cause harm and you have bloodlust, expect to be falling, because what you put out is what you're going to get at this time. So be very careful. You must step into your higher intentions and ethical standards to avoid unintended repercussions. In astrology, we have things called accidental and dignified dignity. We can have both it be straightforward and accidental. And right now, there's a ton of accidental dignity going on for us, the people, and especially marginalized people. There is change here, and it's about money, and it creates opportunities. How we spend our money in places that support ethics and proper understanding will be a point of healing for all of us. Those who are corporations and going along with some of the monkey business we see today, in fact, are attempting in every way to create enslavement for profit and to keep the wounding going. But how we became a wealthy country was through enslaving, through bringing people over on boats in chains. And this has to change. We have a responsibility. So we have some very bad habits, you see, to see others as less than making it okay to enslave and harm them. This reading today says that institutions that prioritize profits over equality will face loss and public backlash right now in every way. Mercury and Virgo suggests a multicultural energy tied to the boycotts will shut down even the largest companies who attempt to come in with their monkey business. Pluto in Aquarius says that this is a collective awakening happening to all of us, shifting power from the centralized authorities back to a more simple existence, back to the people, and more of an agrarian type of energy. We've been dependent upon and addicted to grievances and television telling us how to think, harming our own ability to think straight. We are under the influence of things that are not in our best interest. And I myself do not watch television. I don't listen to songs with words in them. I have decided that I, like anybody, am vulnerable to being suggestible and will easily be misled. So I just don't do it. We can no longer afford behavior on our part that's just kind of automatic. We have to take actions that align with moral truth. And outside of that, there's going to be massive loss. So I will say this, and I find this really sad, and I'm hoping to compel those of you who may be voted for 47 to see the immorality of it all and to change your mind. We at all times have a right to change our minds and do something right about what is wrong with this world. And with that, please like, share, and subscribe. Join me. This is a Decan walk, 36 faces. And thank you so much for being here with me today.